Now, the big question is who will replace her? Congressman Adam Schiff and Congresswoman Katie Porter, both from Southern California, have announced their intentions to run. Oakland Congresswoman Barbara Lee has also expressed interest, but she hasn't officially announced. Joining me now is Donna Crane, political science professor at San Jose State. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So who do you think has the best odds to fill Feinstein's seat so far?
Oh, I think it's far too early to predict that. But I think all three of those, two of whom are announced and one of whom seems pretty ready to announce, I think they're all very viable candidates. One of the problems with California, I guess a problem, is that we have a really deep political bench, especially on the left, right? Big state, a lot of talent, and our elected officials at the federal level tend to stay in for a long time. So I think there's a long line of very capable electeds waiting. It'll be a great race to watch.
No question. In California, of course, a very deep blue state, or historically so. Senator Feinstein considered a moderate by many, but both the party and the state have undergone a big shift since she was first elected 3 decades ago. Are there any Republicans who could enter this race and have a realistic chance in all of this?
That's a great question. So California Republicans have always been more moderate, not always, but, the last 25 years or so have been much more moderate than the National Republican Party. So and there is enough money in the state here that a viable Republican moderate could actually raise enough to be competitive without having to go out of state and rely on the National Party. So that's conceivable. But it would be a Republican that the National Party wouldn't recognize, because the National Party, research shows the National Party has moved quite far right. And so whoever that would be would look quite different.
Yeah. Well, we know Feinstein will leave behind a tremendous local legacy here in the Bay Area. But what should people remember about her national legacy?
Yeah, I worked with her office pretty closely almost the entire time she's been a senator. So I think of her as somebody who was extremely committed to leadership on the AIDS issue, on gun safety, on women's rights, on judiciary issues, and more recently on intelligence issues. Right, she is perhaps a peak moment of her career is when she released the report on interrogations during the Iraq War. And that was a remarkable step. And especially many of those are groundbreaking steps for women.
I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that she's going to stay out her term or finish out her term? Or do you think that she's going to step aside and let Governor Newsom appoint somebody that maybe the party is hoping will have the front runner or be able to, get a leg up on their other candidates?
Well, I wouldn't pretend to know anything about her personal health circumstances. She is a woman of a certain age, and so she may slow down a bit. But my experience with her is that she is, how should we say it? She is stubborn and committed. So as long as her health holds out, I think she is really committed to this work, and I think she sees that there are some things left she'd like to accomplish before she goes. I would put money on her staying the entire duration of her term if her health holds up.
Yeah, she's always been a fighter. All right, Donna Crane, political science professor at San Jose State. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.